In 1918, a filmmaking movement arose which would forever change the look, narrative, and overall style of film. Character-driven narratives. These are, by definition of many film schools and educational sources, stories that give more attention to character development than a traditional plot. In early cinema, such a concept had not yet been explored. Films typically followed regimented A to B to C plots, with characters acting more as surrogates for the audience to view the story through. Camera setups were also rather simplistic at this time, and while what was shown on screen could lean into fantastical, see any film of Georges Méliès for proof, often films of this era had more practical, common settings, even the ones that weren't always down to earth. However, this formula was subject to change in France 1918, when a young law clerk turned stage actor tried his hand at writing and directing. La 10e Symphonie, known to the American audience as the 10th Symphony, written and directed by Abel Gance, was a groundbreaking piece of cinema. It was the first film in what would become Gance's impressive filmography, the first film of the French Impressionist movement, and a film that broke the current rules of plot. The 10th Symphony does not follow a daring action sequence, but rather it follows a torrid event in the lives of composer Enric, his new and mysterious wife Eve, and his daughter Claire, as they are tormented, and in the case of Enric's wife, blackmailed, by a man from Eve's past. The story is driven by Enric's jealousy over a false belief that his wife is having an affair with the man his daughter wishes to marry, the man in question being the blackmailer, as well as the psychological troubles of Claire and Eve as the events play out. Gance portrays each character's inner turmoil through striking cinematography, lighting, and editing, which would later define the movement. The 10th Symphony was a rousing success amongst France's artsy crowd, and would inspire a series of films that would incorporate its techniques and improve upon them. The following years would show us just how far French filmmakers were willing to push what was possible to portray their characters and their mental and emotional states. This would lead to monumental advancements in camera work, cinematography, and editing. Some brief examples can be seen in films like Germaine Dulac's The Smiling Madame Boudette, which utilizes vignettes, mirrors, and compositional tricks to portray the protagonist's dislike of her husband and how unhappy she is with her life. Gance's film Napoleon utilized color to display a character's emotions and give the audience a better feel for the drama and intensity of events. Finally, Marcel Hilbert's La Inhumaine utilized fast-paced editing and distinct, eye-catching set design to transport us into another world, blurring the line between reality and a character's mind. Even after its end in 1929, the French Impressionist movement changed how stories were told. Even now, the movement lives on with genres and styles such as psychological horror, noir, avant-garde films, and many others. Character psychology and action has driven narratives in media all over the world, and it all started with a camera and a handful of creators who wanted to get you to feel.